Live on a cloudy, and I think it's getting a little cooler. It was brutally hot yesterday.
Have you looked at the weather today? That's unlike you, by the way.
It is cloudy. I mean, it's getting cooler. Yesterday was in the mid 90s.
89 today.
Yesterday was in the mid 90s. It'll cool off by tomorrow. It's supposed to be in the 70s. And you're looking down in Akron where it's a little, well, no, actually it would be a little hotter there.
A little warmer down here, yeah.
Anyway, this is the Bull and Fox in the bullpen, part of Bet Rivers, of course. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks to all those who were with me last hour on the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian show. We got a lot to talk about here. We'll have more thoughts on the Emmanuel Clase and Guardian situation. Plus, we'll talk about the insanity at Browns camp, the injury to Kenny Pickett. That's all coming up. I do want to say again, and I mentioned this an hour ago, but I want to say again that I know most fans here, I shouldn't say you don't care because the guy died, but my all-time favorite baseball player passed away last night, Ryan Sandberg. I knew he'd been
a young age, man.
Yeah,
65.
He was.
Did they say what he passed away from?
He had I knew he had cancer, so I assume he passed away from that. He had I can't remember what kind of cancer he had, but it was very serious. And at all the big Cub events recently, he hadn't been there, and a lot of former Cub players that had showed up were wearing his jersey. And I just said to my wife yesterday, I said, I think Sandberg might be close to dying, because a lot of weird things have been happening. And then the word came out, so that was a heartbreaker for me, because he was I think in my childhood he was my first favorite player. You know,
man. I mean, we've had a lot of famous deaths in the last week.
I know.
Ozzy, Hulk Hogan, Ryan Sandberg, who is you invited him to your bar mitzvah.
I did, you're right. It's a good job out of you. I did invite him to my bar mitzvah, and he.
You got a letter back.
I did. I got a letter back. He thanked me, or he said congratulations, whatever. You know,
it's pretty cool.
And apparently was the nicest guy. But anyway, it was very sad. But we got a lot to talk about locally. We'll start with the Guardians. Obviously, I'm gonna double down on what I've said earlier today, Dustin, and that's the fact that for the first time since I moved to Cleveland in August of 2011, so we're talking nearly 14 years, I think that the entire front office of the Cleveland Guardians should be fired. I've never once said that in 14 years. Never once before this year did I even think of that. But I'm done. You've now had 2 scandals in the last 5 years. It kind of got blown under the rug here because he was not in Cleveland by the time it came out. But obviously there was that scandal with Mickey Callaway, who at the time when it came out was the manager of the Mets. But that scandal happened here in Cleveland. Now you have 2 players that have been suspended because they are accused of essentially cheating, throwing pitches. There's the fact that they suspended them for both of these guys.
They've got evidence.
They've got enough evidence, and I'd say there's a pretty likely chance that both of these guys are going to be banned for life from baseball. And between that and the fact that they're going to not go to the playoffs for the 3rd time in 5 years, that they have not followed up a good season with another good season in over half a decade. To me, I'm done. I'm done with everybody. I want Dolan to finally sell his majority stake to David Blitzer. I want the front office gone. I want the manager gone. I want everybody gone. The manager's a victim here. I on his own, I don't know that he should be fired, but I think you need a full cleaning of the house of this organization. It's a disgrace. Now, I don't want to take away the blame for Ortiz and Clase. There's no excuse. You knew what you were doing if you did this. There is zero excuse. I don't want to hear about it. And I'll tell you something else I don't want to hear before you jump in, Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this false equivalency where I hear media members say, or players, well, the league, has gambling partners. What does that have to do with a player tanking a pitch? That has nothing to do with that. And by the way, if you're a player that wants to gamble, you can gamble. You just can't gamble from a baseball locker room, and you can't bet on baseball. There's a lot. You could be at your house
to bet on. Trust me,
betting on a million different sports if you want to. So don't tell me you woe is me. Shut up, follow the rules, and I don't want to hear any excuses. Go ahead. Tell me,
I'm totally with you, man. It's crazy to me to think that these guys would sacrifice so much for what though? I mean,
it's insane.
And here's the thing. I mean, I've talked to people in the industry about this too, and we work for a gambling company, a casino, sports book. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're partners with these leagues, and the last thing that they want to have happen is for there to be any sort of question of integrity of the game
That's right.
and the gambling companies. So
Yeah.
the second that there's any sort of red flag, I'm talking, you bet a couple $100 on a pitch. I've done that before because I'm a degenerate. Okay. But if you bet like 5,000, 10,000 on a pitch, which is like, it's a big number for like
Yeah.
most casual people. But if you're like a millionaire, 10
Yeah.
grand's nothing, right? For a small bet like this. But that is going to set off a red flag where they're going to then contact the league and be like, check out this pitch. You got some
Yeah.
like strange, unusual activity on this one pitch or these,
Yeah.
X pitches. It's so easy, dude. Like, this is 2025. Everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure that AI knows the thoughts in my head. It's easy to run a data report on how many pitches this guy's thrown with nobody on base, with an 0 count. Like, yeah, he threw non-competitive pitches, right? So the batter couldn't even foul it away. Like, those don't. I mean, it's so easy to find this stuff, guys.
And here's the craziest part. Clase especially, right? And he signed a team-friendly contract. I get it. But he's still making almost $5 million this year. How much could he have made? How much could he have possibly made here that would make worth it throwing away his entire career? He had guaranteed another $6.5 million next year. And he might have, and then 2 team options that if they weren't picked up, somebody else would have paid him a ton of money, but they would be picked up. And he could potentially be throwing it all away for a couple of bets on pitches where he throws the ball away. What do you make? A few $1,000s?
Adam, maybe he made nothing.
It's nuts.
Maybe he was just a buddy was like, hey man, make the first pitch in the dirt tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't even know that the bet was being played. Who they probably knew something was going on.
He had.
But again, the point
it's
is,
not proven yet. But it looks bad.
He didn't make millions of dollars here.
No,
not
way.
There's no way. No one could have made $1 million on those pitches.
No,
because the casinos would not have allowed it.
Right. You can't make a huge bet on something like that.
It's like betting on the stupid Gatorade color or something. And if you got like somebody, there's a reason why they limit the max bets on those things. Like, they're going to target and look at these things.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's just crazy.
It's crazy to me to think that these guys are so naive to the fact that everything is looked at, even as little as these little things.
Go home into your house, get the Bet Rivers app, bet on basketball, bet on tennis, bet on soccer, bet on anything. Just don't tank pitches. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Go ahead. This is Browns level dysfunction that we're not used to from the Guardians.
I was at this concert last night, and I got home late, and I was just kind of catching up on some of these details, and I listened to the boys this morning over on the Fan, just to kind of get their takes this morning on it, and it's like, when I saw that tweet last night from whoever that was, I sent to the group where it said, like, these guys. There's the investigation's ongoing with maybe other players, maybe more names. You believe that those names will not be,
I just don't think that's true. I think he got that wrong because the MLB told the Guardian specifically there were no more players. So that would be kind of crazy for them to tell them that, and then all of a sudden there are. That doesn't make it. He must have just gotten wires crossed. So I guess we'll see. Time will tell, but I'd be surprised if that's true. It's bad enough, but my God, if that happens, forget about it.
Is it possible that at the time the MLB told, the Guardians that there's no more players, they didn't have all the facts? Or do you think that this?
Why
would
they
I don't
say
know.
that?
I don't want to speculate, but like,
I mean, it's.
I saw that and it made me like just jump to conclusions that, man, this could be like a deep scandal. Like, is every pitcher involved? You know what I mean? It's crazy to me to think about this.
It is.
But like, how in the world and why would these guys sacrifice their careers over the stupid? There's no money in this. There is no way these guys made any sort of money.
Yeah. It's just crazy. All right, let me get just a couple of messages in the YouTube chat before we move on to the Browns here. Jim says, yesterday was the white flag for me. The Colorado Rockies team OPS is better than the Guard. And throw on top of that, like as bad as it was off the field, then you lose the game to the worst team in baseball. That's 51 games under 500. And Kate Smith blows his first save chance, which was unreal. Sam Hill with the Bull and Fox emojis. Wasted time, Chief. RIP. Rhino. Thank you, Chief. Brian says, are there any players from other teams that are suspended or being investigated? Not that I know of this year. There were, I think, 4 or 5 players suspended last year in Major League Baseball, but no names that you would have ever heard of. They were like fringe major leaguers, and one of them, maybe 2, got banned for life. So we'll see. But none of them were accused of this type of thing, tanking pitches. Let's see. Wasted time, Chief. The real money maker is letting Hedges get 2 hits if you're a pitching gambler. Jim says only this organization would find a way to look incompetent against a team that's 50 games under 500. Well, they were 51 games under 500 before beating the Guardians yesterday. All right. So in Brown's camp, let's start with the big news over the last couple of days. Kenny Pickett with a hamstring injury. Doesn't appear to be too serious, but listen, hamstring injury, you're going to miss some time. I mean, what a minimum of 2-3 weeks minimum?
I would say depending on the severity of the injury, would be the amount of time the player be held out. Now, listen, he's a quarterback, and he doesn't have to be as mobile in these practices as he would have to be like if we were playing games. But I would say you're probably looking at a week to 2 weeks, even for just a slight, like a grade 1 hamstring. You'd want to rest it up. But like if it's bad, it could be a month. You know what I mean? Point being that these other dudes are now going to get a lot more reps. You went from 4 quarterbacks to 3 quarterbacks like real quick. And so that to me is kind of going to be an interesting and I think good thing because we kind of know what Kenny Pickett is. The other 2 rooks we don't really know much about. So I'd like to see those guys get more opportunities in the preseason. I'm sorry it happens at the sake of the injury to Pickett, but still, and nonetheless, those other guys, Gabriel, Sanders, they're going to get a lot more reps now.
Yeah, and before we get to that part, do you think this rules out Pickett for starting week 1? Because I know Jason Lloyd and Aditi and Mary Kay have all thought that he was going to start week 1. Not necessarily that he deserved to, but just that they all thought that was what the organization was going to do. Do you think this means it's definitely not going to happen? And if so, do you think Flacco's definitely the week 1 starter?
I would say this much. I think it's going to be a challenge now for Kenny Pickett if he misses a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If it's 3 weeks, what have you, starting to get into those preseason games and he's not playing. Yeah, it's going to limit him from being the starting quarterback week 1. I'd be surprised, even shocked maybe if that were the case. If he misses a few weeks here, there's no way he's going to be the starting quarterback. It'll most likely end up being Joe Flacco to start the year.
I saw there was a tweet and I referenced it. I know we're going to talk about this also on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show today, but you won't be on, so I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I saw there was a tweet from, I can't remember the reporter, so I got to bring it up here. Robert Mays. You know Robert Mays.
We've had him on many times on Bull and Fox. I've actually had dinner with Robert Mays.
Okay, there you go.
So I know the
combine guy. Or something.
It was Senior Bowl.
All right. So he's the host of the Athletic Football Show. Used to be with Grant Land and The Ringer. Okay, good, highly respected reporter. And he tweeted over the weekend. He said, "We have never been more lost in the sauce when it comes to training camp reactions and videos. Allowing fans to experience practice is great, and obsessing over every minute detail of your team's chances is part of the fun. But we have lost the plot entirely." And I responded and said, "Bingo. He's 100% right. In this never-ending thirst for football knowledge, which is great, or football information. It's great, right? Like we all want every last detail, and the coverage of training camp is unprecedented. We've got, every beat reporter is charting every throw, and it's great for the fans to get excited and all this stuff. But what we're to the point now, and this what Robert Mays is saying is that we're treating all these throws as if they're equivalent to play. We're keeping track of touchdowns and completions, and we're treating them, or some people are treating them a lot, I think, as if there's some sort of equivalent that these numbers to like a game that matters. And that's insane. Dustin, please explain that to the fans.
Well,
Why that's nuts.
it's nuts because you're going up against different competition, right? You don't know what the play was, what the defense was playing, what defense they were in. Like, there's a lot of factors that nobody knows what's going on. Like, I get it. The pass was thrown. Was it caught? Was it dropped? Like, you
Yeah.
can keep those stats. The fact that you would put any sort of weight into that stat
Yeah.
is crazy because that stat is not, like you said, Adam, it's not a game.
Yeah.
We're talking about practice, not a game, practice.
And how much, if you're a quarterback, obviously you didn't play quarterback, but you've been around enough of them and you've been on the field.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a quarterback and you know there's no chance you're going to get hit, I mean, how different is that?
Yeah, because you can hold on to the ball for another half second or second. You can pat it in one or two more times. Whereas if this were a game, you'd be on your ass. You don't have the time to complete that extra, pat on the ball to get it down the field to a receiver for a touchdown. Like, and by the way, I mean, there's not really much in terms of contact in the back end. Like, there's just guys are running pretty much on air.
Yeah.
These are 7-on-7 drills. They're drills that are 11-on-11 with no pass rush. I mean, it's basically a pillow fight up front. And then your brother-in-law and the other guy, the offensive lineman versus the defensive lineman, and the quarterback's got all day to throw. Like, it's great for Twitter highlights and to talk about it and say, man, he looks good. That was an NFL throw. Okay, that I'll listen to.
Sure.
That was a big boy throw. Or, wow, he stepped up and really got into, like, you can see the ability, you can see the skill, but you can't be like, well, you know what, man? Did you see the stats today? Gabriel, 8 for 11.
Yeah.
Threw a pick in the red zone. But Sanders, dude, he was 13 for 13.
Yeah.
Like, come on. What are we doing?
And the thing is, the other day, everybody was showing, I think it was a Kenny Pickett touchdown before he got hurt. It might have been the day before. And all the beat reporters had this touchdown throw that he made. And then I saw Zach Jackson write, touchdown thrown by Kenny Pickett, but in parentheses it said he probably would have been sacked. So, like, there's no context. I mean, he gave context there, but it's just so silly. And it's not to knock anybody. Obviously, you'd rather them look good than not look good. It'd actually be somewhat telling if in these circumstances they played like crap. But we've seen other great players play badly in practice, and it doesn't matter. It's just, take it for what it is. Guys are getting ready for the season. It's not a proof of anything. I think the fact that Shedeur Sanders is not taking any reps with the ones tells you that he doesn't really have a legitimate chance at this point, I think, to be the starter week 1. But I don't know that he ever did. I don't think Dylan Gabriel does either. But he's got a better chance because he is out there with the one. So Kevin Stefanski can say all he wants and it doesn't matter. But if you were legitimately giving him, if he was legitimately in the mix to start, I think he would have played with the ones at some point at this point, right?
There's no question. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, Adam, I would be stunned if either of these rookies is the starting quarterback week 1.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't think it's going to happen unless something happens to Flacco at this point. Then you end up going with one of these guys just because you have to.
Yeah.
No, I'm praying that doesn't happen because I think these young players need time to continue to learn and develop before they're thrown to the wolves. The last thing you want to have happen is, Shedeur Sanders, you think you may have a chance to go in there, as a 5th round rookie quarterback who's just not quite ready and might need a year or a half year to watch and learn just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then that guy goes out there and his confidence just gets killed. We've seen it happen so many times with young players, especially at the quarterback position. So that's something I definitely am keeping an eye on. But thus far, guys, let's just not go nuts. And I get it. I understand that ESPN Cleveland, they've got the quarterback, stats every day or whoever, Daryl or Mary Kay, like all the media members that go to these practices, and it gets clicks and people love to talk about it. But the reality is Kevin Stefanski's not talking about it.
No, not at all. More comments from the chat. Skilly says, what are your thoughts on Sanders not getting first-team reps? We just gave you that there. I would love –
By the way, his answer to that question was great.
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
It was just a real honest answer about, like, they said, why aren't you getting any first-team reps? I think it was Tony asked him that.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not above my pay grade. He's like, that's not my decision. He's like, I'm just here to, like, it was really kind of a mature answer for a young player. I like it.
I think he's handled himself great.
I do too.
I would like to see him get first-team reps, but for whatever reason, that's not happening. Let's see. For Skilly said, from what Tony Grossi said, this is a level 2 hamstring. Whatever it is, he's going to miss some time.
Level 2, you maybe month, maybe 6 weeks.
Brett Watson, Pickett's preseason hamstring more important than the biggest scandal in sports. We spent the first 10 minutes, 12 minutes talking about the biggest scandal in sports.
We did half the show.
Yeah, and I did a 55-minute Ultimate Guardian show from 8 till 8:55 about it. So I personally did an hour and 7 minutes on the Guardians before talking about the Browns at all. So
gotta love it, man. People still want the program right to them the second they tune in. And we did the 5-hour radio show every day.
Yeah.
Someone pops in at 6:27. They're like, why are we talking soccer? There's a baseball team in town.
Yeah, I know. It is funny. In terms of the rest of training camp, besides quarterback, I don't know. There's just not that much to get into right now. I think they're relatively healthy. Cedric Tillman obviously has been a little banged up. We know about the Quinshon Judkins situation. They did bring in another running back, but it was a young guy and not a veteran. So I think they're going to move forward with the two main backs they have, and we'll see what Jerome Ford's going to be the starter. We'll see what Dylan Sampson can do, but I think it's going to be those two. I think it's probably going to be a lost season for Quinshon Judkins. He hasn't even signed yet, and he won't anytime soon, probably.
Man, that's an interesting one, because didn't we expect him to pretty much be a starting running back from day one?
Oh yeah, 100%. I assumed. That's what I assumed.
Opportunities for Sampson for sure.
Yeah, but and they still like Jerome Ford, I guess. Just because we don't doesn't.
I like him too. I don't like him at every down.
No, yeah, certainly not. He is
there's a role for this guy in the league. There's a role for this guy in the Browns. I just don't think it's as a bell cow running back.
No, I definitely don't think so. And I don't know if Dylan Sampson is capable of that kind of role. Obviously, he's not a big guy. I mean, he's kind of, he's like a bowling ball type, but a lot of people don't think he can be an every down back. But we'll see.
He carried a pretty big workload in the SEC, the last couple of years.
I'd love to see him get the opportunity.
Carrying the ball 20, 25 times a game.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in seeing him in these games. And seeing, from a wide receiver perspective, Cedric Tillman. I want some of these young guys to get an opportunity. I want to see Harold Fannon out there. I wonder how much he's going to play right off the bat. Obviously, you think about, like, needing time to develop at quarterback, and we don't, talk about that as much at other positions. But from all you hear, it seems like Harold Fannon's a pretty raw prospect as a tight end. Like, there's obviously a lot of talent there, but he has a lot of developing and growing as a player before he's what they hope he will be as a finished product. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, how much of a factor is it these days that he played at a lower, like played at the MAC instead of, major division?
Well, I mean, you play in the MAC every year. You play 4 games against, Alabama, Ohio State, Tennessee, you name it. I mean, you're going to these
well
stadiums
in those games.
And you play well. And by the way, most of these guys who end up getting drafted who played the MAC or played, a smaller school, you go to the Senior Bowl. You do a week of practice against the top players in the country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the competition level, I just think it's not okay. You play in Division III Mount Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a little time to see that guy against top competition. But you're in the MAC. I mean, you're playing big time college football.
Finally, congratulations to the great Tom Hamilton, who was officially inducted in the Hall of Fame this weekend. His speech was awesome. Tom's a great guy, great broadcaster. Congratulations to CC Sabathia for getting in the Hall of Fame. It was funny. He was posting about how the car broke down on the way to Cooperstown, and Cooperstown's in the middle of nowhere. in upstate New York. Congratulations to Ichiro Suzuki, who did his whole speech in English, and he was quite funny. The first Japanese-born Hall of Famer. Congratulations to the families of Dick Allen and Dave Parker, who both got in. They both passed. Dave Parker passed recently. His son looks exactly like him. And congratulations to Billy Wagner. Speaking of Division III, Billy Wagner, who got in the Hall of Fame as a closer, played Division III baseball. And this weekend he got into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations there. And I'm excited that my St. John's Red Storm are the #1 team in the country in college basketball after the disappointing end to the last season. Although being #1 in the rankings in July doesn't really mean much.
I was gonna say, when's basketball season start?
Yeah, not till like November, I guess. And I don't know. This is not any official rankings, but there you go.
Yeah. Real fast. We haven't talked since the weekend. Did you see Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
I did. It was good. I liked it.
I loved it.
I know people are saying it's the worst movie. It's the worst movie. It's an Adam Sandler movie. Like,
who says the worst movie?
Well, some people. I saw some.
Every person I talked to that I've seen in person.
Regular people like it. Like people that are just going to the movie to have fun.
It's not. It's not the Titanic.
No,
it's a comedy that's meant to be very nostalgic.
It was very satisfying. If you like the first movie, you will like this movie.
100%.
It was very satisfying.
Yes.
And
well said.
Like his daughters are now in all his movies. They played his daughter in this, and
his sons. He made his sons millionaires because of this movie.
What do you mean?
His sons are in the movie.
Those are not his sons.
I'm pretty sure they're his sons, aren't they?
No. What are you talking about? I don't think he has any sons.
Oh, he doesn't?
No. I think he just has 2 daughters, doesn't he?
Okay.
And they were both in the movie. His wife was in the movie. She's an actress. She was in the movie, and he's got his regular cast of characters. I don't think any. I know one of those guys.
Whatever it is with his kids. He is, by putting them in the movies, like he set them up to basically.
I was reading about that. It's his daughter. So the girl who played.
Okay, I read it.
The girl who's his daughter in the movie is one of his daughters.
Got it.
And then there was another girl. I can't remember when she was in it, but she's also his daughter. And he puts all his family, he puts all his friends in there. He did a tribute to the kid. There's a kid who played his older son. I think it was his older son in Grown Ups. Do you remember that kid?
I don't.
That kid died recently. Very sad.
No.
He had like a seizure when he was sleeping. And he paid tribute to him in the movie. Listen, it's dopey fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's 1,000% cheesy, but they pulled it off, in my opinion.
I didn't realize. I had no clue who Bad Bunny was.
I still don't really know who Bad Bunny is.
Yeah, he was the guy who played his caddy.
That's Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I had no idea, but he was good. He was funny.
The guy who was the waiter with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, who eventually becomes his caddy. That's Bad Bunny. I didn't know. I had no idea.
That's hilarious. I had no clue who that was.
Yeah.
What Bad Bunny's who? Is he like a musical artist?
I think so. I thought you're up on these things. What happened? You usually know all the modern music.
I'm
getting old right in front of my eyes.
Dude, I actually am getting old right in front of your eyes. Because
I usually rely on you for this pop culture stuff. I thought you'd definitely know who Bad Bunny was, but
he is a Puerto Rican rapper, singer, actor, and record producer.
There you go.
31 years old.
Yes, the tattooed woman from the AA meetings was his other daughter. That's right.
Oh, okay.
He said the first 45 minutes of the movie was actually very good, says Christopher. Then it got a little weird. Why did it get weird? What was weird about it? I don't know. The real golfers were good, I thought.
The fact that they got literally the top 5 players in the world that are the most recognizable. The Scotty Scheffler arrest was hilarious.
That was so good.
So good.
Everybody loves Adam Sandler. They all want to be in his movies.
It almost seemed like if you weren't in the movie, you weren't cool.
Yeah.
I mean, guys were like Eminem was in the movie.
Yeah. What part did he play? I can't remember now.
He was. Oh God. It doesn't look like him at all.
Aaron really likes the song "Lose Yourself."
Great song.
And we were like playing it in the car yesterday, blasting it. He was having a ball with that. I don't remember what role he played in there. It's not coming to me.
He played. What's the guy's name? It was like the heckler guy, right?
Oh, is that what he did? I didn't even remember that. Oh, was he supposed to be his son of the other heckler guy? I think you
Remember the Jackass guy?
Yeah. He's supposed to be his son, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Boban Marjanovic or whatever his name is.
Boban played a great role.
I know, that was good.
That was so funny.
He appropriately looked like that other guy. Richard Keel, I think, was the other guy's name.
He passed away.
Yeah, and he was in Hustle, the basketball movie. Boban also was in that. Have you seen Hustle?
Yes. Good movie.
Great
Really good movie.
That was
really
that was like a good movie. Beyond just being like Adam Sandler funny, that was like actually a really good movie.
Dude, he was good in Uncut Gems, dude.
It was
awesome
great.
Movie. Awesome
and
movie.
Spanglish,
not even
underrated.
A funny movie.
Spanglish, check that out. That was if you haven't seen it.
Spanglish, yeah.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. Thanks to Shane and Max for producing. I'll be on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show at 11. You got anything that you doing the tennis today?
Tennis was yesterday. Tomorrow I'm back with you on UCSS, and
nice.
then we're on Tuesdays now, right here, Bull and Fox.
That's right. Every Tuesday
on the Bullpen. Yeah.
Every Tuesday, Zach Jackson will be on with me as a guest on Thursday. We'll see you next time. Where else but right here in the Bullpen. Bull and Fox with Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.